What is up, YouTube? Hello, hello, hello. Man, I hope everybody is doing epically friggin' awesome tonight. We're going to shake things up a little bit. I'm going to be doing 2 live streams. This live stream is going to be 30 minutes long or so. We're going to create a custom stinger. I want to show everyone how to do it. Then I have a second live stream we'll be starting up. I'll answer all of your questions. We're going to do a big Q&A. So this is just a little test to see how YouTube's algorithm deals with live streams that have a very specific purpose. So I'll tell you how it works out. We're going to see. So I'm going to jump right into the tutorial. I want to say thank you for everyone who stopped by. I saw Gemma and Jelly and Backyard Foundry and Tech Examine and Harrison and some others. Irvin the Paid Tourist is here. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely amazing. If I missed you in the chat, I apologize. But we're going to jump into it real quick, and then we'll move on to the Q&A right after this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome, I think. We'll see. So can everybody hear me okay right here? I'm not getting anybody tell me if they have any audio issues. So you can see we're in Pixlr right here. If you have an interest in knowing how Pixlr works or you want to check it out for yourself, there's a link in the description. Pixlr is a free image editing software that's web-based. So it's pretty cool stuff. It makes it really easy to use. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to create a new document. I stream at 1920 by 1080. So we're going to use this full HD. We're going to call this Stinger. And we're going to go ahead and create that document. Now we don't want a background. We want the transparency, just so you guys know. This is going to be a really simple one that you guys will be able to create easily if you want to. I am going to import a color palette in here because I want to be able to have it match the color palette that I already use. So let me see if I can actually find my color palette, because this is always fun. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have to switch this view here so I can see this, and that usually will give me there we go. So all you have to do is drag your file right on top. You want to add it to the current. That's my color palette that I'm going to be using for this particular tutorial. When you're creating boxes, the fill is going to be the top color, or the fill is going to be the bottom color, and the stroke is the top color. I don't know why it works that way, but it just does. So I'm going to create that, and then I'm going to use this layer here. I'm going to go to boxes, and I'm just going to create me a nifty little box right here. Wow, look at that. Epic, epic. We're going to create another layer. It's going to be empty, and I want to use my color picker. Let's go with this color here. And we're going to create another box. So we're going to go like this. And bam. That looks all right. Well, we can adjust the box sizes in a second. And we're going to move this one down here so I can pick another color. And we'll go with the dark blue. Okay. And you can't really move it down there because then you can't see it. There you go. All right. And we're going to just create a third box right there. Now, I don't like that because that has a stroke, and we don't want strokes in our box. We definitely don't want our box to have a stroke. So I'm going to go back here, and we're going to do the box again. Stroke, no stroke. And the problem there was that I didn't create another layer. That was my problem. See? You can figure these things out on the fly, even live. Even live. All right, so we've got 3 boxes here. Let's do some box adjustment. So I want to use a free transform here. And we just want to make it, I'm going to make this kind of interesting, just for fun. And we'll do that, and we want to go and edit this second box here, which for whatever reason seems to have an outline on it, which I don't like. I don't want the stroke on it, but there's nothing I can really do about it right now. That's not true. That's not true. We can fix anything. We can fix anything. I'm going to go and I'm going to delete the middle layer. I'm going to bring up my color layer here. And we're going to color pick the middle color again. We're going to go back to our box. And that's okay. We're going to go back to our box. I'm going to make sure our stroke is at 0. We're going to go ahead and create that box again. All right. Oh, I did it again. We need a new layer for this. A new layer. See what happens when you're trying to hurry and do things on the fly? Yeah, well, that's all right. We're still going to get it done. And theoretically, it's going to take about 30 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. So that looks pretty cool. I actually like how that looks. It doesn't really need too much adjustment. What do you think, honey? How does it look? Does it look all right? Does it need a lot of adjustment? Is it on all 4 sides? How are we looking?
40 minutes, 40 seconds.
Oh, 40 seconds behind. All right. So there we go. We've got it all set up. There is our box. I'm going to hide this layer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to export. I'm going to export this as a PNG. We want to, let's call this Stinger Wall, just in case I already have something in there that's called the same name, because I did do a dry run on this earlier. So we'll see. And this is going to save to my downloads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it into another folder here so we can see it. Maybe. We'll see. I might be able to move this. We're going to move this into here. And let's create a new folder. All right.
Woo! That was incredible.
Oh no, what happened? What happened? I missed that. I apologize, but if somebody subscribed, thank you so much. All right, so we're gonna what we want to do now is we've exported this from Pixlr, and we're gonna go into After Effects, which I have open right here. If you're not familiar with After Effects, it's part of the Adobe suite. It's pretty simple to use. Yeah, there's that. Okay, so I'm gonna do my. All right, hold on. We're gonna hit New Composition. We're gonna call this one Stinger Wall. All right, so I'm doing it in 1920 by 1080. That is the size that I broadcast in. We want our frame rate to be at 30 frames per second because that is the frame rate that I broadcast in. Resolution full. We want this to be about 2 seconds long. About 2 seconds long, I think. You know what? Let's make it 3 seconds long just in case. It gives us a little bit of room for growth. Just in case. Okay, so now we have our composition over here. What I want to do is I want to go and I want to move my Stinger Wall in there. So I just drag and drop that right there, and we're going to add that to our composition. And there we go. There is our Stinger Wall, as you can see, in all of its
Woo! That was incredible.
Well, thank you for subscribing. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to go and transform this a little bit. We're going to first rotate it. I want it to be kind of canted a little bit. And I want to stretch it on one side of the scale. So I don't want both sides to be stretched. So not that side. Not that side. I want to stretch it on this side. But no, that's not really working how I wanted it to work either. So we're going to go like this. We're going to stretch it like this. We want it to cover the entire screen for at least a moment. All right, so we have that done. Now we're going to add some keyframes. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be the absolute center of our scene. So I'm going to go right to the absolute center of our scene, and I'm going to place a keyframe here at that position. You can see it does that right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way over here, I'm going to move my timeline all the way to the beginning, and then I'm going to just move this position. And I can really just drag it if I want. And just make it as close to straight as I could possibly get. And then we're going to move the keyframe to the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move this all the way out here so it's off the screen. And now if I click my preview window here, you can see that other than the fact that it's not scaled big enough so we get this little stupid corner there, it seems to be working pretty well. And also my CPU usage seems to be okay, because I wasn't really 100% totally certain that my machine wouldn't crap out when I tried to do this tutorial. But it seems that even live we can do this. So, all right, obviously that's really slow, and that would be one heck of a long transition. But that's all right. We're going to adjust that up in a second. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to add...
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Excuse me. I'm going to add another element to this. And to do that, I'm going to go back in here. Let's see. I want to add... Where is it? Where is it? Did I put it in here? Where did I put my other thing that I wanted to add? Man, you know what? That's the one thing about Windows. You really get lost in all the menus and stuff. I know. Oh, you know what? I may not have actually moved that. Let's look in our downloads. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, baby. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the correct folder, and then we're going to put it in there and see if it works for us. Seriously.
When people are subscribing,
Yeah.
we're getting an echo on yourself coming in.
Okay, so
Thank you.
it's re-recording me. All right, I'll see what I can do about that once this is done. Now where was I at? Let's see. We're gonna go to. Doggone it! Now I lost my place. There it is. That's where we want it. That's where we want it to be. Now I don't know if this has a background or not. Let's take a look and see. I just drop it on top. There we go. All right, I like that. That looks all right. Obviously it's a little big. We don't need it that big, so we're going to scale it back a little bit. And then we're going to, I like that. What do you think? Let's make it a little smaller because I want to add some animation here. So the other thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to duplicate this right here, this stinger wall. And I want to show you why. So let's just make that blank for a second. Now, ideally, you can't see it anyways. But let's just say that this was white. You know what? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it white for a second, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Or red. Red works. So when I move this off, you can still see it. Well, we don't really want that. We kind of want this to show up when our stinger shows up. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna make this visible, and we're gonna go down here to our logo overlay, and we're gonna select Alpha Matte. So now you can see that when we scroll over, woohoo, look at that. Look at that. That's freaking epic. All right, I don't want it that color though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just delete the fill. That was just for effect. So now so that means you could do this with any color logo. The fact that this is black shouldn't throw you off, okay? All right, so what we want to do now is we want to adjust some of these keyframes because keyframes are cool. In fact, what I want to do is I'm going to delete our Alpha Matte first before we do this. And we're going to go in here and we're going to look at our keyframes. You can see we've got 3 keyframes. I'm going to create another one. So what we want to do is we want to set up a period of time by which our we have the screen fully covered. So what I did was I copied this with Control C, pasted it with Control D or Control V, and now you can see we have like this little period of time. And what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the way that these keyframes work. We're going to select the two keyframes on this side, and we're going to go to Keyframe Assistant and go to Easy Ease. And we're going to select these two keyframes over here, and we're going to select Keyframe Assistant and go to Easy Ease. Now I'm going to highlight these two here, and we're going to go into our graph editor, and you can see it shows us both. It shows them both anyways. And we're going to adjust this so it makes the curve. So what this does is this means it's going to go super slow and then speed up, speed up, speed up, and then slow. And we're going to do the same on this side. So when it zooms out, if I can actually grab the nubby, we're going to do that. There we go. So let me show you what this does. Woo! All right. That's not too bad. That looks pretty cool. So you can see how it kind of speeds up and slows down in the center section there. All right, that doesn't look too bad, but it's not exactly what we're looking for. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and move this. I don't know if we really want this to be 2 seconds long, but we're going to try it anyways. We're going to go with 2 seconds here. And let's see what that looks like. Let's see if it gives us a more zoomy effect. It does. So the other thing that I want to do here is we're going to go right to the center. And what I want to do is I want to adjust this rotation just a little bit. There we go. And see if we can't get a cooler zoomy effect in there. All right, and we don't have to watch the whole thing. We only need to watch that. So let's see. All right, that's a little closer to what we want. What we want to do, it's kind of boring now. It's like lame. You've got this thingy that does really nothing at all. So what we want to do is I want to take this logo here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the scale. And we're going to set the scale keyframe right there. And I'm going to set a scale keyframe right here. And we're going to adjust it so it comes up like that. And we're going to go back out here and we're going to adjust the scale keyframe right here. Actually, what we could do is we can just Control C this one and Control V and boom. Now I don't really like that because it looks right on this side. It doesn't look right on this side. It looks wrong. So what I need to do is possibly adjust the distance it's moving. So let's take a quick look at how far this is moving. It moves pretty far on that side, and then it moves slightly differently on that side. That's a little weird. That's a little weird. Why is it doing that? Let's see. It looks about right. But we're getting, and I would really like this to kind of be closer in. Closer in. So let's see what we get there. All right, that's not too bad. That's kind of cool. Let's get it closer in so we can actually take a look and see. And boom, look at that. All right, so that's your basic stinger. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know what I want to do? I want to easy ease these keyframes, and it doesn't look like we're matching up. There we go. Maybe that was our problem. That's right there. That's right there. And that's right there. All right, we're going to easy ease these keyframes to add a little bit of more interesting kind of animation to them. I'm going to go into the list here, and we're going to kind of speed these up. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Let's go to edit and undo that. What I want to do is add a little bit of a bump that way, And we're going to go here. We're going to add a little bit of a bump that way. And that should make for kind of an interesting pattern, I think. So let's try this. All right, yeah, there we go. It's kind of like a little heartbeat. A little heartbeat going there in the center. I like that. That does not suck. That's kind of cool. All right. So the last thing I need to do is I need to duplicate the stinger wall and put it up top here. And I'm going to use that as the alpha, but it's already set at the alpha, so I have to do it again. You can see when you set it as the alpha, it blanks that other one out. So there we go. That's our custom stinger. Let's take a look in OBS and see how this actually works. Okay, I'm down with that. So what I'm going to do is the first thing we have to do is export it. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export, and we're going to add this to Adobe Media Q Encoder thingy. And let's see if we drop any significant frames here. Nope, my CPU usage is still next to nothing. Still next to nothing. So that's good. That's good. I like it. We're going to pop into Media Encoder, and it'll take a couple seconds for this to pop up here. And while I'm waiting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to apply. So there we go. All right, so that's probably going to fix the echo problem if it happens again. Now I want to go to this H.264, and I want to select the output WebM right here. Pretty cool. And what I want to do is I want to just click on that WebM, and it's going to bring us into a much more comprehensive kind of look at this. Yeah, good old PC. All right, so we've got Stinger Wall WebM. I want this to go to, where do I want this to go? I want it to go to, man, I don't use PC very often, so therein lies some of the problems that I'm having just navigating, because I don't use it very much. You can see, all right, so image settings, 1920 by 1080. We didn't add any audio in here. Do you think we should? I think we should. You know, before we go and save this out, let's just add some audio. I'm going to delete that. Yes. And we'll keep that up because I want you guys to see what it's like to add audio. So what I'm going to do is go back into here, and we're going to go in here. I know I downloaded some audio for this as well. I just have to actually find it. Where did I put my audio? All right, so it's not there. Did I put it here? Wow. I don't remember what the audio actually was called, so that's what's leading me to have the problem with actually finding it. Because I'm a moron. This is the kind of things that usually you kind of work through before you try to do this. No, that's not it. Oh my goodness. Is it here? Yeah, that's it. That's it. I found it. We can do this. What do we got on the clock? 26. We're getting close. We're gonna just about make it. Tutorial stinger. All right. So what I want to do is I want to take this. I want to take my little audio clip, move it over here, and we're going to drag that down into the thing. We're going to expand it out just a little bit so that we can see our waveform. And there it is. We want our waveform to be right in the center of our little ball bounce thing, I think. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear that. Probably not. But we'll hear it in a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this up like that so that we get just that kind of ball bouncy sound that we want. And that's it. All right, now we're going to export it. We're going to go to File, Export. We're going to add this to the render queue. No, we're not. We're going to add it to Adobe Media Encoder. And I'm going to click here, select WebM. And then I want to get more details on the WebM. So I want to do Stinger Wall. I want to make sure that this is going to the actual correct location. And then we're going to go down here. I have 1920 by 1080. Perfect. You want to make sure you have video and audio if you put audio in there. And then we want to get VP9 selected because that is that's the newest codec for this. Now the other thing you have to kind of take a look at is you want to make sure that your file size is not over 5 meg. But you can see this is super small, so I can bump it up a little bit. I can do higher quality, and get closer to that 5 meg area. You don't want to be over 5 meg because it'll tax your live stream. So that's good. I like being at 4 meg. And then the other thing that's super important here is you want to include this alpha channel. That's what's going to make it, that's what's going to give you the ability to see through it so it can work as a stinger. I use maximum render quality, and let's see if this tanks my machine because I'm fascinated to know myself. There we go. Oh wow, look at that. 3.5. So here we go. 3.5 CPU usage. So I don't think it's going to tank my machine. We're getting lucky. We're getting lucky. All right. So once this exports, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add it into your stream. There we go. And there we go. We're done. We're done with this. So we can save it if we want. And let's save this in. Let's save it in here. Untitled project. That's fine. That's fine. What I want to do is show you how to do it. Yep, we're going to launch it anyways. We can do this. And of course it came up on the wrong window. There we go. It came up on the wrong window. All right. So now what we want to do, and I apologize for the inception thing going on here. That's not something I intended to happen, but it is what it is. All right, so we're going to bring this up here. And what I want to do is we're going to go into the door here. Actually, what I want to do is I want to remove this stupid inception thing. It's really annoying. Boom. That didn't do it. Scene collection, tutor. Yeah, it's still annoying. All right, so there we go. You can see that's the earlier one that I did. I'm going to remove that so I can show you how to put it in there. We're going to go to the plus. We're going to go to Stinger. We can name the stinger whatever we want, so we'll call it wall. And then we have to go into the video file. We're going to browse. And we're going to go to the location. Oh, for God's sakes. We're going to go to the location. This is why I use Mac. I just want you to know that. We're going to go in here. And we're going to select our stinger. We're going to click open. Now we want to set it up. If I preview the transition, you can see A goes right to B. A goes right to B, B goes right to A. That's not really what we want. We want the transition to cover up our thing. So we're going to go from time to frame. And we know that we're filming at 30 frames per second, and we know the clip is 2 seconds long. So if we go out to frame 30, we know the screen is going to be completely covered. And we want to monitor off, so if we don't want to hear the sound, we can leave the monitor off. In this case, I'm going to use monitor and output so I can actually hear it. We want to fade out to the transition point. Well, we don't want to do that. We want to crossfade. what crossfade does is it means when you're switching from one scene to another, your audio doesn't just get removed and then reappear. In this sense, you're going to have consistent audio the whole time. So now if we preview the transition, there we go. There we go. All right. So now we go from scene 1 to scene 2. Woo. Scene 1 to scene 2. And I know what my problem is here. There we go. Not a problem. Boom. What do you think? That's pretty wicked cool. And what did that take me? 20 minutes to... All right, it took me 30 minutes. It took me 30 minutes. I see what you're saying, but it was pretty freaking awesome. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about how to do custom stingers. I'm going to add it right here, right now, to my stream so you can see me do it right here. Maybe I'll even be able to find it in the right folder and do all that stuff in a reasonably timely fashion. Maybe not. Let's see, time, frame, 30 frames per second, monitor and output, crossfade, and okay, so here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, did you guys hear a sound there too? I hope you heard a sound. It doesn't look half bad for spending 20 minutes. Trust me, you can spend all kinds of time making this look freaking sweet. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to actually do something like this. It's pretty easy, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to close down this live stream, and I'm going to move over to another live stream where I can answer questions and all that stuff for you guys. What I want to do is go ahead and put that link for you right in the chat here, so that if you just want to pop over to the other live stream, you are absolutely welcome to do that. I will see you over there in just a moment. Thank you guys for coming out, hanging with me. And if you have any questions about what I just did, we're going to be able to answer all of those questions in the next stream. I'll see you there.